Hey friends, welcome back to Seed and Sparrow Homestead. My name is Kelsey if you are new here. And as you saw in the title, we're going on a sweet potato hunt today. I'm super excited about it. Sweet potatoes can be ready anywhere from like 100 to 120-ish days, just depends on the variety and how your growing season went. But I planted mine back on May the 25th and it's been about 107 days. So I went out yesterday, I dug up one of the sweet potato slips, and let me show you what I found. Here it is, my findings from one sweet potato slip. Obviously they're still pretty dirty, but let me show you the size of this one. Here is this massive sweet potato compared to my head. They're all a pretty decent size. There's a couple, like 2 or 3 small ones, but I was still pretty pleased with this big of a harvest from one plant. So I'm gonna weigh it quick and just see how much I actually got. Okay, from that one plant, 2.78 pounds. I'm pretty pleased with that. Sorry, my kiddos are in the background. So let's go out and let's see what else there is to find. Now, let me preface this harvest by saying these plants would have benefited from being left in the ground for another few weeks or so until the vines had yellowed and died back. However, we have changes we need to make in the garden and we need the beds empty for it. So I went ahead and I dug them up, and you'll see later it was a good thing that I did. But on to what you clicked on this video for. Here's the harvesting. And off to a solid start, snapping the end off of that one. I think I hold my breath in anticipation every time I go to get another potato out of the ground. Well, here it is, the entirety of my harvest from that 4x4 bed. Pretty disappointing, honestly. Okay, so not that great of a harvest from that first bed, which is a bummer. And like a third of them, something took a nibble out of them in multiple places. Some of them I can probably salvage, some are probably just gonna have to go to the chickens. And now I'm wondering, I wasn't going to harvest the second bed just yet. I was gonna wait like another week. But now I'm concerned that if I don't harvest them, something is going to eat them. So I went ahead and I dug up one of the vines, and it looks like there are decent sized sweet potatoes under there. Now, I don't know if that's deceiving, again, because you saw at the beginning of the video, the sweet potatoes I harvested from that other bed, and I was like, oh, we're gonna have a lot of sweet potatoes. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and harvest them, and what we get, and I'll try and figure out what I can do better. Maybe it was just out of my control, but I've had really good harvests in the past from sweet potatoes, so it's kind of a bummer. A lot of these have bite marks in them too. So here is what I ended up with from that second bed. Still not fantastic, but definitely a step up from the first bed, and got about twice as many, and they're all a pretty decent size. All right, so you can see the difference here in the harvest from each bed. So this is the second bed, and that's the first bed. All right, so I went back and I checked. I had ordered 24 sweet potato slips, but on arrival, only 16 of them were alive. So I planted 16 slips, and from them I got approximately 33 pounds of sweet potatoes. Not terrible, still pretty decent, but definitely not my best yield that I have seen. And I think a huge factor in that was the weather. It's been ridiculously hot. For long periods of time. It's not just like a day that's hot. It's been like weeks that it's been way hotter than normal, and we've gone weeks without rain. And I am honestly probably the worst waterer ever. I loathe it. It's like one task that I try and avoid at all costs. I really need to figure out some sort of irrigation system. So part of the outcome could have been my fault as well. But everything else I've done the same as I had in years past. I amended the soil the same way, and I fertilized as I always would, about every 2 weeks with some fish emulsion. So just goes to show there's a lot you can't control when it comes to gardening, and I try to always account for that by planting more than what we will need. And sweet potatoes are a crop that are not a staple for us. My husband doesn't even like them, so 33 pounds is fine for me and my 2 kids. And I usually put some away for like holidays and things like that. So I'm still thankful for what I have. You just kind of have to take it in stride when things don't go your way and learn from it. Learn maybe next year to do something differently, to plant more, to try a different method. You're just always learning in the garden, and I honestly love that about gardening. It doesn't get boring. There's always something new to discover. You guys, thanks for coming along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this sweet potato harvest. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them below in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.